Hi friends, I'm Walker and welcome back to All About Nails, where we talk about vegan and cruelty-free nail polish. Today we are talking about these gorgeous pinky purples, and we'll be doing a quick comparison of these 4 polishes. This is another video in my purple comparison series, and so I will link that up above in the cards and also down below in the description box if you want to see the rest of the videos in this series. And as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. Awesome, let's dive into talking about these 4 very soft and pretty pinky purples. Alright, first up we're going to talk about Perrie, which is the one that I think kind of sticks out like a sore thumb in this group, but I really just didn't know where to put it, so I decided it is more pink than it is anything else. And this one is described by Zoya as a beautiful, glossy, cool-toned lavender. And lavender to me is a kind of mix between pink and purple, but definitely is more purple-toned, and so I feel like that is a pretty good description of this polish. And it is so bright. I feel like lavender I usually associate with like a really soft pastel, but this one's really bright, it's really vibrant, it's saturated. I really like this one. And Perrie was brought to us in the summer of 2010 in the Flash and Sparkle collection. Up next is the most recent Zoya edition that we're looking at today. This is Rhea, and this is from the summer 2019 Barefoot collection. So this was just released super recently, and Zoya describes this one as a cool toned magnolia purple cream. And so this one does look very different than Perrie, but again, I think in a minute you'll see why I grouped them together. This lovely lady is Liv, and Liv is described by Zoya as a fun-filled purple that is seriously saturated and makes a statement. Zoya says this one is a cool tone. They also say that it is intensity 4, which means that it's not quite the same cream formula. It's a little bit softer. And this is from the 2016 summer collection, which was the Seashells and Sunsets collection. Alright, and then up next we have Audrina, and Audrina is from the 2008 Gossip and Chit Chat collection, which was the summer collection. And Zoya actually describes this one as a pink comma purple, so they describe it as both. And I'm looping it in here because I just think it fits in this group. I will also probably include it in a pink category whenever I do my pinks, but I think it kind of straddles the line, and so it deserves to be in both. Zoya does describe this one as a bright, funky mix of medium pink and purple with a milky cream finish, and they also say that this one is a cool-toned polish. Alright, so here are our 4 friends up close here. Obviously Perrie really sticks out. It is much lighter than the other 3, but just to show you it compared to some other polishes that are described as lavender in Zoya's collection, I want to show you that it didn't really fit with those ones either. So here's Birch, which is described as a greyish lavender, and obviously that's not the right fit, so even though they have the same word, does not mean they fit in the same group. And then my other kind of pinky, purpley color group were my warm toned purples, but Lois shows just how much more purple those were. These 4 that we're looking at today are much more pinky. So even though, you know, Lois is a warm toned purple, it has pink and it has purple in it, these 4 definitely lean much more on the pink side of that spectrum. Same thing here, some other very pretty colors. Here's Tina and Delia. Again, these are much cooler toned. They don't really work here. So I think these 4 seem like they make the best fit for me. I did do more in-depth comparisons of Rhea in my Barefoot comparison video because I looked at each polish in that collection and compared it to others in Zoya's collection. So if you want to see more up close of this one in particular, because it is the new one, I will link that video up in the cards so you can check that out. Another polish that I want to bring in is Reagan. This one is described by Zoya as a pink, and I initially thought that I was going to include it in this group, but when I really looked close, I decided that it actually is much more pink than these are, even though I don't know, at first glance and in the bottle, I think you see more purple in this one, but Reagan is definitely just like a really deep pink and is not quite as purple as Audrina is, even though Zoya describes both of them as pink. Alright, so I think the only 2 that I'm going to swatch for you today are Liv and Audrina, because these 2 look super, super close on the swatch stick. Liv is described as a 4 on the intensity scale, and so I am curious to see if maybe there'll be some difference in formula, but Audrina's also a little bit older, and they tend to have a little bit of a thinner formula from Zoya, so I am just curious to see how these 2 compare, so we're going to look at these 2 up close. Alright, we're coming in for the first coat of Audrina. Audrina, and this one, if I remember correctly, has a little bit of a thinner formula, so we'll see how it compares in terms of application. On this first coat, I am getting a lot of fuchsia. It looks really bright on my nails. And here's the first coat of Live, and I think these two honestly are probably the closest of any purples that we've looked at so far in this series. In the bottle, at least, they do look really, really close. So let's see on the nail here. On this first coat, I'm seeing like almost a tiny bit more pink from Audrina. It looks a little bit more fuchsia, a little bit brighter, but I think it'll be easier to tell once this color's built up. So we'll come back for a second coat in just a minute. All right, here's my second coat of Audrina. And I feel like this is one that people don't talk about that much, but it is really pretty. I am definitely seeing a little bit of a deepening of that color. It's a little bit more purple now. And here's my second coat of Live. This one, similarly, I feel like I don't hear people talk about it that much, but I don't know. I also just don't really pay that close attention to pinks maybe, and other people love it and I just don't hear about it. But I'm gonna say, oh man, these look really close in color. I do think Audrina has a little bit more of like a jelliness to it, and Live is a little bit more like creamy, opaque, but I feel like the color here is super close. I don't know that you would need both of these. I think they look really, really close. I don't know. If you have both and you disagree with me, let me know, but I think both of them are really pretty, but you probably don't need both. All right, awesome. I hope that you enjoyed this comparison. I would say that my favorite is probably Perrie. This one just blows me away. It's so different. I don't know. It's unique. I don't expect it. I really, really like it. These three are nice. They're not colors that I pull for that often. I don't wear pink that often, and these to me just pull a little bit too pink for me, but definitely let me know if you have any of these, if you like them. Let me know which was your favorite from this category. Rhea is nice and deep, so I would say this is probably my second favorite. Audrina and Liv are pretty, but not really my favorite polishes in the world. As always, if you like this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss the rest of this series. I post videos 3 times a week on my channel, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!